Yeah, I thought St. Lawrence played. They were better than us tonight. I thought they had more jump. They wanted it more than we did. I mean, you can look back at the game and say, we had some great opportunities as far as on power play or in the first period going up 1-0. I think we had 4 breakaways in the first period. Their kid made big saves, but I think when you look at the overall spectrum of the game. They just, I thought they wanted it more. I thought they worked harder than we did, and that was really disappointing for us as as a coaching staff to see our team not come back with after the emotional win last night, cannot come back with a real solid effort against a team that obviously worked really, really hard, and give them credit. I thought I just thought they were quicker to pucks. I thought they were stronger. They were more tenacious than we were as a hockey team.
Questions?
Based on the with the power play tonight, you said could have seen some improvement. Still getting 2 goals on the board here tonight for a power play. They scored a couple all year. Where do you see things progressing next?
Well, I mean, the progressing next is when the game's 1-1 in the second period, and they come out and those power plays we had in the second period was it was a perfect example of our not being intense and not being sharp and not being alert, because we squandered. They did a good job of killing, and we did a good job of squandering opportunities in the second period. And the first period we moved pucks fast. We took what was open. We didn't force things. The second period we held pucks. We didn't move pucks, and their intensity of jumping on us to create and turnovers, and we didn't play strong. And so it was just a kind of an example of the way we played the whole game, the whole night. Late to pucks, late to where we're supposed to be doing, and I said the power play was an exact example of hard play throughout the course of the night.
Pulled Mitch after the 4th goal went in. How would you evaluate his play tonight?
It was okay. I mean, I was disappointed in the opportunity, the shorthand, the puck came down, and he's an aggressive goaltender and gets out, and I don't think he was as locked in as he was no different than the rest of the guys. I mean, if he's aggressive and he's alert, he's on top, he jumps out and he grabs that thing and fires it down the ice or does something with it, and he didn't. So, that was a kind of a little bit of a turning point. It's 2-1 game, and we got a power play, and we don't make a very good play at the offensive blue line. We turn it over, and but again, it's just those mistakes is I think I said is reflective of our focus and concentration throughout the course of the game.
How would you evaluate the play of Cole Bergeron tonight? It seemed like he had a little jump under him. Could have had a couple of more goals tonight.
Yeah, he had a couple of breakaways and won the first and won the second, and he did a good job, and he played with energy and scored a great goal in the first period on a feed by I think it was Jake Widener or Joel Lowry, and whoever it was that fed him from the backside. So, but it's I know that a couple of our guys were trying to lead, but we didn't have many guys that wanted to follow tonight with that same kind of energy and that he came with tonight. And I said, we'll address that throughout the course of the week here.
What went into the decision to start Mitch both nights this weekend?
Well, I mean, if I look back, we talked about this as a coaching staff after the game, is that we can't continue to play players based on the result of the game rather than looking at how they played the night before. And I thought with a big win last night, come back, I probably made a mistake and should have started Hayden. Probably a couple other guys that didn't play tonight and give an opportunity to play tonight. I think that's where we got to head down the road with our hockey team right now, is that get some guys in back to back. Some guys really showed tonight they're not, it's amazing, but they can't play with the same energy back to back games. And I think that knowing that we are not as a coaching staff going to stick with the same lineup, I think that'll maybe grab their attention more. That regardless of the score of the game, that we're not going to be set on lines the following day, and that we're going to do some shuffling until guys prove that they can win, have success, and come back with a solid effort the next day.
Have you seen more time and space development for your guys offensively recently?
Not much. I mean, I think I've seen a little bit again, similar tonight again. I mean, the game could be a different game. We score a couple breakaway goals tonight. I mean, but I think as a coaching staff, when you look at it, you know, it's about the whole, looking at the whole process of the whole game, and we weren't sharp. I mean, it's just, it's as simple as that. We weren't sharp in the things that we did today. We made the first goal, you know, it was frustrating. I mean, we fell asleep, you know, the guy, you know, picks up the wrong guy, and they fire down, hits our guy, and goes in to make it 1-1. You know, and then we trip over a guy going out to the blue line, and you know, with a minute left, and lose a big face-off, and we trip over a guy and give a guy a clear shot, and we don't clear the front, and, so it's 2-1. But I think those are, again, indicative of how we, you know, when you're on top of your game, you don't make those kind of mistakes. You don't trip over someone. You're aware of what your surroundings and what's going on.
From your vantage point behind the bench and then out on the ice, what do you see that was going on there as the game was ending and then during the handshake line?
Well, I don't know what happened in the handshake line, but we talked to our guys. That's why I held our guys on the bench for a long period of time to see if they even wanted our guys to shake hands. And you know, so we held our bench and to see if we wanted to shake hands. But I'm pretty sure one of the kids speared a kid, you know, late in the game down. And then, you know, other than that, it's a bunch of wrestling and, you know, rolling around on the ice. I didn't think anybody was. Even a couple of guys, we had a guy down and they had a guy down, but they didn't really take advantage of it. And I think cooler heads with the guys that were on the ice, you know, prevailed after that. But it was pretty clear it was a spear. I haven't seen the box score, but it was pretty clear there was a spear that went on, you know, that kind of started everything. So we'll see what happens.
How different was your preparation for tonight after not being here last night?
Well, I mean, it's you know, preparation starts when you wake up in the morning, and you know, the coaches, you know, have been preparing for the same way for a long period of time. Yeah, I think preparation, I think you coaches, we work hard, and I think, you know, I go back to it is that satisfaction level. And they lost last night, and we won last night, and we were obviously not as hungry as they were. And you know, X's and O's are one aspect of it, but the preparation to be hungry and to get after it is the other aspect of it. And you can push and prod and pull as much as you want as a coach, but unless they wake up and live and breathe and hockey from the time they wake up in the morning to the time they get here, and they're determined to play hard, you know, it can be a tough night like it was tonight.
It's hard to believe it, but about halfway through the first semester now. How would you evaluate where your team stands, at least through the first couple of weekends?
Well, frustrated. I mean, you know, I think that you sit there and sitting at one in the league. We're sitting at 1-3 and you know, 1-3. You know, and you know, we have 2 more home games next weekend where we can, you know, get ourselves back to 500. You know, against Brown and Yale, and you know, and then you know, but to do that, you know. As I said, we as coaches have to make a few changes on how we approach Friday night to Saturday night, and the players have to make some adjustments as far as, you know, being prepared to play back-to-back nights.